Okay, so that was a fun little jaunt into whatever the fuckville. So howdy hey. For anybody watching this later, like, hi. I'm probably cutting this out of the probably cutting that first like 6 or 7 minutes out of the highlights, so just bear that in mind. It's not that I don't want you guys to see it, but I literally just spent about 8 minutes troubleshooting, trying to get an add-on running, and trying to figure out why I was authenticating and couldn't, so here we are now. And huzzah. Minimap button bag. One of the best add-ons ever created. I could not live without this now. I legitimately couldn't. Too many button bags of everything everywhere. Isn't there... don't I have an... do I not have an add-on for... like, my... whatever the hell you call this thing? Mailbox? Mailbox? My mail. Don't I got something for mail? I really don't have anything for my mail, huh? Well, alright. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh, we got 9 whole copper for that. 3 whole silver. Ooh, got 2 whole silver. Cool. I got another one of those doodad and baubles and things. Okay, cool. Oh. That's new. Let me just make sure that that's only for, mobs. I don't even remember what is the thing that turns on everything versus only... only the things? What am I saying right now? I just want to turn on the enemy nameplates, is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, is that everything? I think that works. A pygmy tag crawler. Okay, so it seems to be working now. Wonderful. Custom nameplates. You know what? Because... fine. We do this. There any sort of customization for this, I wonder? Nature enemy cast bar. Wait, that has a... you know what? Okay, that's fair. That's cool. You can see your FPS there. That's neato. Well, whatever. It's good enough. Gets the job done. So I need 6 of these fuckers in order to get what I need to do. To do what I need to do? What? I can't words, man. It's just... it's been a long day. It's been a long week. My brain is still mush from getting... I mean, like, woohoo, I got the vaccine. I'm definitely not saying I'm not super thrilled. But it kind of fucked with the brain parts just a little bit. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Oh, hold up. Mana. Hold up. Don't be dumb. Conjure your mana first, so you don't end up running out of it. Completely. And drinky poo. Nom nom. Drink that mana. Drink it like you mean it. Oh, that sounds... that sounded like an innuendo. That is unfortunate. So now that we know Homeboy McGee little tide crawler thingy works, which is good. Is there a way... Huh. Okay, so the only way to edit it is actually with an LUA file. Is to actually change the Lua? Lua, right? It's called Lua? Whatever. Okay. Well, I ain't doing that, so default it is. I've become that person that needs the nameplate add-ons, I guess. I suppose. I don't know, man. Oh, that's right. That actually... Ooh. I have no bracers on this character. Alright, cool. Upgrade! Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. Thus far, I'm actually really liking the way, I mean, there's definitely a shift in... By the way, I also have... Wait. Is Reshade not working? Whoops. There we go. Why am I looking for dynamic cam? It doesn't exist. By the way, so I have reshade on here as well, which kind of makes the colors pop a little bit more. I can appreciate it. I forgot how beautiful this area is. Even though it may not necessarily be, you know, the prettiest that has ever... I mean, there are other zones that are... Oh, shit. Whoops. I was wondering why the music stopped for half a second. You know, this may not be the most beautiful zone to have ever graced WoW, but I love this image right here. This... Especially at night. This visual right here, the gray shores with the gray water, gray dabba-dee-dabba-die and all that good stuff. But it has such an interesting aesthetic to it. I love the fact that it has this sort of... I actually had a screenshot of this years ago. This was my wallpaper, because I had this in Vanilla, I think, or Burning Crusade. I had basically downloaded a custom MPQ file that changed the... it's a data swap of the Druid Baron cat forms. So I had the cat form that was basically the Alliance cat form, but it was gray and it had more sort of Celtic looking runes on it and stuff like that. It was really awesome looking, and I managed to capture a really cool shot of that gray cat form running down the shores of Darkshore here in front of this moon, and it was such a cool image. I was... You know, I'm not one to typically say I'm proud of myself for things, but I was very proud of that screenshot. Damn it. I mean, I say I'm not terribly proud of it, but, you know, I have an entire folder full of scenic screenshots that I've taken in various games just because that's kind of my thing, I guess. You know, tourists are gonna tourist, so I'm gonna take screenshots. Damn it. Alrighty, so let's go... Grab some questies and stuff. Red crystal.
How may I help?
I don't really know how far I'm actually going to get in this particular area. Because I may just go back to my little roguey rogue. Even though I kind of strongly... I mean, I don't say I strongly dislike Elwyn Forest, but...
What brings you here?
It's definitely the zone that I have the least amount of experience in. Like, by a country mile, I have the least amount of experience in it. But I also have the most amount of experience in Darkshore. Which is funny, because I'm pretty sure most people hate questing in Darkshore, which is why they just immediately go to Westfall or something like that. I don't really like Westfall as a questing zone, being real with you. It's not bad, by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely, you know, no barons.
Well met.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, not doing that quest. Sorry. That is one of the very few quests in Vanilla WoW that I adamantly refuse to do. Even the ones that are annoying, I tend to do it. That one, fuck that quest. Fuck Deep Ocean Vast Sea. It is not worth it. No way, no how. I mean, when the quest is so bugged that the later revision of the game actively makes a point of lampooning the fact that the quest was bugged to shit, you know that quest is bugged. You know that quest is bugged. Okay, so Buzzbox 411. Turn and wash to shore. I think I... Oh, no, I didn't do that. I didn't grab the, what's-a-madoodle. Okay, that's fair. And I'm gonna be real. I like the little, I like my little Mage Town stuff going on. I also like the name. I'm gonna have to start using that in either retail WoW or other, you know, RPG-ish types things. Thaladora. I sincerely doubt I'm the only person to have that name, but, you know, I like it all the same, so... Damn it, I'm taking it. Oh, I can't take that. What is my skill for level 1? I have level 1 herbalism and alchemy. Okay. Which means that I basically have to go back to a Nublet town and probably level this up to 50, because most of this stuff is like Briarthorn, Mage Weave, Mage Royal, and things like that. Come here, Coast Runner. I'm gonna nuke you in the face. Cool. Q. Okay. That's right, I forgot I have rank 1 Frostbolt. I should probably be using that. And it can also murder people still, so that's nice. Okay, gotta remember, it's shift click to loot. It's shift click to loot all. A weird little thing about Vanilla WoW that I kind of keep forgetting about until I'm like, why am I not grabbing things? And then I go back to retail and I'm like, why can't I grab things? Because I'm shift clicking everything. So how y'all's been week going so far? Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're having some fun. Hope you're having a good old time. I hope so. My life has been whatever it's gonna be, basically, so... You know, doing my job, coming home, playing some Vigi games, or maybe just vegging out and playing Vigi games that I'm not going to be recording, etc. Part of me kind of... click. Part of me does actually kind of miss Lord of the Rings, even though I haven't played it in a couple of weeks. It's not Lotro's fault, it's just I fell back into the WoW crowd. Oh, no. Nope. Sorry, buddy. Oh, was it only the one of you? Oh, okay, I can kill you. That's fine. That's fine. I thought there was more than one of you. Okay. You're significantly less scary, she says, hiding the gulp of terror that's lodged in the back of her throat. Okay. Can't get that. Can't get that. Can get that. Okay, Mr. Bear just phasing through existence. I don't want to fight to get it. Screw it. Yoop. I do love Permatwirly though, by the way. The sucky thing about playing this server and all other sorts of private servers, though Ascension WoW is probably the one that may not have necessarily done it, is every time I play on a private server, it just makes me want to play my retail characters. Every single solitary time. Even if I don't like what retail WoW is, playing this just gives me an itch to... It's like if you itch around a bug bite instead of on the bug bite, you know? You think, well, you know, it's itchy, but if I don't scratch the bug bite, it won't hurt as bad, or it won't agitate it, so you scratch around the area of the bug bite, thinking that, you know, scratching by proxy will make it itch less. No, that makes that bitch itch even more. So, this is what this does, and I deserve this, I'm sure. Right west of the boat dock. Gupper Blump. Sup, my dude? So I actually did get my fishing to level 58 while just chilling and doing stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, it's been a hot minute since I have done. Don't I have a thing for Thresher Eyes? I totally do. Baller. It's been a hot minute since I've done fishing related to anything. And again, it's just, it makes me itch to play my retail characters. It's sort of like well, I mean, if I'm spending the time doing this, I may as well be spending the time on my retail characters where it quote-unquote actually matters. Now, I realize it doesn't actually matter because those characters aren't mine. You know, they're attached to a server where if I don't pay the fee, I lose access to it, which is kind of shitty. And, oh yeah, that's right, private server, so swimming mechanics are kind of funky. You know, not that it's any better on a private server where you may not necessarily have to pay for access, but, you know, they can literally go down at any given time, as evidenced by the fact that I had a level 48 druid on, I think it was Valkyrie WoW? Like, way back in the olden days of yore. This was around WoD, before WoD, something like that. And I mean, granted, that server's population had a population of like 50. You know, like if there were 50 people online, it was, you know, pretty populated, it was pretty hopping. So, yeah, that server went down, because that was the one that got folded into Elysium after Nostalrius went down. It was the Nostalrius core and the Valkyrie core kind of sort of teamed up to create Elysium, which, you know, if you follow any of the drama with the private servers, like, for God's sake, do something better with your life. Like, on the real, don't even waste your time with it. But apparently there's some shady shit that was going on there. I don't even know. I apparently have a level 38 there. Because that was what was left over on, the Nostalrius one. They actually got the okay, I'm about to die. That's right. That's right. 60-second breaths. 60-second breaths. You can hold your breath for 60 seconds. There we go. Oh man, these quests suck when you're a caster because you can't regenerate mana. You have to go onto land to actually drink. That sucks. Okay, slow him just a little tiny bit. But, I guess they copied over the Nostalrius characters onto Elysium. So I have like a level 37 or a level 38 or something like that. Which is fine. You know, I think I logged into her for about 5 minutes while going through all of this and testing everything out. So, you know, it was cool. Am I going to level to 60 there? Probably not. I mean, at this rate, I don't think I've actually leveled to cap on anything that's not Ascension WoW. Because I got to level 48 on Valkyrie, I got to level 38 on Rebirth WoW. Like, if y'all want to talk old school, does anybody remember Rebirth WoW? That predated Nostalrius by about, I think, like 3 or 4 years. It's a shame how that server went down, because, I mean, it was kind of buggy. But it wasn't a bad kind of buggy. You know what I mean? Like, I really, really liked the people that were on there. It was also a low pop, because, you know, most private servers were like that at that point. Before Nostalrius brought... I don't want to say brought all the mouth breathers in, because that's not really representative of the community, as it were, but... You know... yeah, a lot... Basically, before Nostalrius happened, most private servers had... You know, if you had a population of... You know, if you had a steady... Excuse me, fucker? You know, if your private server had a steady population... Like, let me see... 142 people. If your server had a steady population of like 300 or 400 people or something like that, you know, if that was your average number of logins and stuff like that, server was fine. I mean, that was considered populated because private servers weren't really, I mean, not to say they weren't mainstream, but they weren't mainstream. You know what I mean? They weren't something that was known by literally everyone. Nostalrius kind of, well, for the lack of a better term, kind of fucked it up. Because they were so popular and so hyped up that people that otherwise either didn't know that private servers existed or wouldn't have cared that private servers existed were hopping on the bandwagon, and then all of a sudden Blizz was like, hey, so, I see you got me intellectual property over there. It'd be a real shame if something happened to... Wait. You know, hey, that's a nice, you know, insert... You know, non-legal action. You know, it's a real nice life you got there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it, you know. But again, then again, Nostalrius is literally why we have Classic WoW, because the pull for it was so insane that Blizzard literally couldn't ignore it. Before they could just shut servers down and be like, oh, these are people stealing IPs and making money, yada, yada, yada. I mean, the amount of publicity that private server got forced Blizzard to be like, yes, it's not just nostalgia. You're walking, and I guarantee you it's not just the amount of people that were on it. I guarantee you when they flew, because they actually flew Nostalrius's developers literally to Blizzard headquarters, and I'm assuming it's probably like they had to disclose their information, yada, yada, yada. I guarantee you that some executive somewhere in Bobby Kotick's wing of the fucking dungeon saw how much money that they were making and was like, hey, so how do we monetize this? Because that's a lot of money that they're making right now. Like, a lot of money that they're making. Like, holy shit. So, here we are. And now I'm on Turtle WoW. Not, like, forever, so to speak. But, you know, damn it, I'm back on that WoW crack again. Ooh, can I grab something from you? Ah, yes, back when small barnacle clams only had a, they took up a inventory slot individually. You know, it's good times. Good times, man, good times. Sucky thing about a small server is that there's literally no economy, so... Man, getting a mount on here is gonna suck. This is going to be highly unfortunate. Please die, Mr. Thresher. I need your eyeball, so just please be a nice... thing. Thank you. See? See how easy that was? The fuck does this dude get turned in? Oh yeah, fuck that. Okay. We gotta go back to town real quick. I'm still a little bit salty that we never got high elves. Like, legitimately, we ended up getting... Horde got blood elves, and... See... Blood elves and the Horde were a mistake. They legitimately were. I still am of the belief that Blood elves or the Horde was a mistake because basically it brought all of the people to the Horde that... What am I trying to say? How do I want to word this? It brought all the people to the Horde that only care about looks. You know, people who wanted to play elves. They don't care if they're on, you know, quote unquote, whoops. You know, that they're on the... Do I have something that sells junk? I don't. Son of a bitch. Cracker claw, crawler meat, blood sausage, meat. Hang on to that. Hello, Max Helm. How are you doing today? I can't words. It's fine. I have given up speaking the English language today and in the near future. But, man, getting a mount on... I already said it, but, like, getting a mount on this server's gonna suck. Oh, yeah. Blood Elves and the Horde were a mistake. Because it basically got all the people who really only care about the aesthetics. They wanted the pretty... It's like, they want the pretty elf race, so they're just gonna play on the side that has the pretty elf race sort of thing. Even though Blood Elves make absolutely no sense for the Horde whatsoever. All that good stuff. They should have been on the Alliance, damn it. You can make Blood Elves of the Horde, but make them, like, crack addicts or something. You know, very clearly crack addicts type deal. Yep. Who wants to talk to me? Oh, whatever. Okay. Oh, cool. I'm working 11 to 7 tomorrow. Alrighty. Well, I mean, that actually works perfectly fine for me. That means I get 2 more hours of sleep. I was supposed to be 5 to 9. So, wait, no. 9 to 5. I can't, man. Words. Fuck words. They're hard. I'm not doing bad. I'm doing okay. I got off work, and my brain is fried. And I got my shot about a week ago, so my brain is still just foggier than usual, and I am absolutely going to blame all wordy badness on it, even though it may or may not have any actual effect. So just, you know, so there. Hey, congrats, you get your first shot. Is it going to be, do you know which one it is? I've heard that Pfizer, people tend not to get as many reactions to that. Shit, is that? I think that's Menethil Harbor, right? Is this Menethil Harbor? Ron, bitch? Moderna? Okay. Because I got the Moderna one. I guess I won the lottery because I got, well, not won the lottery, but I basically got reactions on both of my shots. The first shot was, like, knocked me on my ass. I mean, I did not get out of bed, well, except to use the bathroom, but I did not get out of bed for 18 hours. I went to bed at, like, 9 p.m., and then I got out of bed 2:30 in the afternoon the next day. Or I felt healthy enough, but I mean, beyond just literally stumble out of bed to use the bathroom, which I don't really consider, I know this sounds weird, I don't really consider that getting out of bed because that's, you know, stumbling around blindly just trying to find the toilet sort of thing. I don't really consider that getting out of bed in the strictest sense. But I didn't get out of bed for like 18 hours. And then I just felt like actual hot garbage. And unfortunately, because I got it on a Saturday, that Sunday I didn't get out, until 2:30 in the afternoon. And then my literal first day of work was that Monday. And I felt like hot garbage. Like, I mean, I didn't have a fever. That was the one thing I didn't have. But I had like fever chills. I had sweats. I had really bad headache, really, really bad nausea, just like dizzy spells. I felt like garbage. The second shot, comparatively, I actually felt better, but I seemed to have a more biological reaction. Like that time I actually had a fever. In fact, I had a fever of like 101 for most of that evening after the shot, to the point where my boss saw how bad my reaction was to the first shot, and he literally just gave me that second day off because he was like, I know you're probably going to feel bad, so let me just give you the day off so that way you don't call out. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. I am totally okay with that. What? Where are mobs? Shit, I can't tell if that's... Well, I hope you don't get any of it either. I mean, it's... Like I said, I think I kind of won the lottery because I had such a strong reaction. Though, to be fair, it's supposed to be a good thing if you have a bad reaction to it. So, that basically means that it's your, I can't words. It's your immune system flexing on it and all that good stuff. Because, I mean, to be fair, the second day, the icky badness really only lasted for like a day. Because I got the shot, same thing, like Saturday afternoon. And then by like Sunday afternoon-ish or so, like my fever had broken and I was honestly feeling a lot better. I was just really tired because I didn't get sleep the night prior. But,
Well met.
But yeah, it's not bad. It's actually not all that bad. I've heard that Johnson & Johnson, you can get a lot more reactions to it. Like I heard a streamer that I watch every so often, like, I mean, he ran, it was like a literal 1 in a million chance, but he got this 1 in a million reaction that basically gave him a like Bell's palsy or something like that. Apparently they say it's going to go away eventually, but they don't know when, because it like triggered some really weird reaction in him. So basically, I'm glad you got Moderna. Good luck. Yay. La la da da, la da da da. Blood elves were a mistake. The pretty races should be on the Alliance, damn it. What's the what face for? I'm glad High Elves are on the Alliance. Blood Elves were a mistake. I'm just saying. Like, if the Blood Elves won the Horde, that's fine, but they should have been, suitably, I don't know, evil looking or something. Closed beta for an upcoming MMO. That's good. I know you can't say which one it is because, that'll get you into trouble and shit, but, I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm kind of slightly back on the WoW crack because, god damn it, all I've wanted for years, all I've wanted is to just play Burning Crusade again, just basically for the nostalgia sake, on a server that isn't, well, shit. And I still have 4 months of a 6-month sub that I had running on a secondary account, so I'm scratching the itch. And that's, as I was saying earlier, before you got here, that the sucky thing about playing these sorts of private servers is that it basically just makes me want to play my retail characters. Because this doesn't feel quote-unquote real. Even though I'm playing them, it still doesn't feel like it belongs to me, if that makes any sense. Because the servers can go down at any given moment, you know what I mean? Swords of Legends popular in China? Okay, that's good. I hope it's not not to be sound like an asshole, but I hope it just doesn't turn into some pay-to-win garbage.
Salutations.
Please teach me. Why can't you teach me, you whore? Oh, it's a level 20, fucker. Okay, that's fine. I mean, well, if you're gonna say it like that, fine. Mage trainer.
Interesting.
Holy shit. Give me all of that.
Very good.
Nom nom. That cost a lot more money than I wanted it to, but that's fine. Arcane Intellect, rank 2. Conjure Food, rank 2. The fuck is Dampen? Oh my god, Dampen Magic. I forgot about that. Because why would anyone ever use that? Holy shit, slow fall. Give me that slow fall. Fireball, rank 3. Frostbolt, rank 3. Frost Armor, rank 2. Nom nom. All of the delicious buffs. Super pretty looking, and the gameplay is solid. That's good. I may have to check that out at some point. I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've done a... Where the fuck am I running? It's been a hot minute since I've done an MMO tourism, because I've been cracking out to Lord of the Rings Online. And then recently to this, and the, TBC beta. Because I have weak will, and I need to cope. I know, like, I feel so goddamn weak-willed, because every time I'm like, I'm done, I'm not gonna play the game anymore, and then I'm like, hey, here's like a 7-day stretch of work where you don't have a day off, and you're working weird hours, and I'm just like, I need something. I know people call it copium, like, I need just something to chill out with, something that is relatively comfortable, that I can kind of turn my brain off and play and feel some kind of mild satisfaction. And that thing should be Final Fantasy XIV, but it's like, that's not my routine, so I'm basically in WoW. Yes, it's called Turtle WoW. But the cool thing about this particular server, I mean, it's based off of vanilla and all that good stuff, but what I find interesting about it is that it actually, it creates custom content in the vein that it's trying to pull directly from Warcraft 3. And thus far, it's actually, like, really solid. The fact that they've given an explanation on High Elves joining the Alliance and Goblins joining the Horde. And I mean, granted, there's some weird kind of jank to it, like the High Elves have absolutely no sounds whatsoever. They don't laugh, no battle animations. The Goblins have, like, male gnome and Tauren sound effects. It's kind of weird. But they actually custom created, like, their own little starting areas, carved out in different parts of the world. I think there's little 1 through 5 starting areas. They actually gave... So for High Elves, like this area over here in between Eastern Plaguelands and where Ghostlands was and all that, that area which was, you know, if you zoned into it, was called Quel'Thalas, I think. It actually said, I think, it used to say Quel'Thalas in the game, right? They actually basically altered that little area. You have to teleport to it in Elwyn Forest, but there's actually a quest line, and it causes Questy to lose its fucking mind, but because, you know, it's not vanilla content. But there's actually a quest line that takes you to that area, to an area that they're rebuilding outside of Quel'Thalas. I think it's called, like, Alathalas or something like that. And, I mean, thus far, reading it and everything, reading the quest and everything, it feels... I mean, it feels retail. Like, it feels like something Blizzard would put in. And to the point where it's like, this almost makes me mad to play, because I'm like, why didn't they do this? Like, this feels... closer to, like, Warcraft 3. Like, High Elves should have been on the Alliance, goddammit. Goblins really should have been on the Horde. That's really how it should have been in Burning Crusade. Goblins for the Horde, High Elves for the Alliance. Yeah, there were Blood Elves and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and High Elves were screwed over. Like, I get it, but even then, High Elves on the Alliance still makes more sense than Blood Elves on the Horde, because Blood Elves, like, prior to that point, had literally spent, what, millennia, several millennia of their existence fighting trolls, and then basically getting suckered into helping the Alliance out in Warcraft 2, and, you know, I mean, I get it, like, you know, Garithos being racist, Kael'thas, the destruction, yada, 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 like, I get it. It makes sense to me, but from a lore standpoint, it would have made more sense for characters to have the last remaining High Elves that did not follow Kael'thas being like, yo, so, like, our land was razed to the ground, and our master, like, and our leader betrayed us and sold us out to, like, you know, these fell demon bitches and stuff. Like, so we need help right now. We need a refuge, sort of thing. Versus actually the people that got sold out. And I mean, I get it. Like, the Horde storyline for it, the Blood Elves, was like, well, you know, Prince Kael'thas, like, they made it sound like, and I mean, I read the quest line. You know, I read all the quest lines in Burning Crusade and all that, and it basically makes it sound like everyone at Silvermoon assumes that Prince Kael'thas is coming back and that he's on like this important mission, yada 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 yada, when he basically sold them all out. Like, it doesn't make as much sense that you're playing and you're joining the Horde, which is the exact people you were fighting, because one regiment of Alliance people were total racist douchebags. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, they changed the lore in a dime a lot, which is, you know, how Draenei exist. And why we have, for some fucking reason in retail, Lightforged Draenei and not Broken, which would have made so much more sense. That's literally where I thought that was going. I thought we were going to get, when they talked about allied races, I thought we were going to get Broken as an allied race, because that would have made more sense, because that's what people originally thought the Draenei were. And then we got just regular Draenei with, you know, fucking pimp hooves. Like, originally human souls trapped in orc bodies, but needed, you know, like, I don't know. But what I'm saying, basically, I say all of this to say that thus far, this is actually proven to be, like, the custom stuff that they add in here is legit. Like, it's well reasoned, it's well paced, it makes sense, it fits in seamlessly enough that, you know, I don't know if I've forgotten things about Vanilla WoW, because there are a lot of quests in Vanilla WoW, but I find myself second guessing if something is actually a vanilla quest line or if it's something that they've custom added, because they've added like they've added secondary traits like the survival skill. They've added actually, no, let me look it up really quick. Turtle WoW. Let me see. They actually added a story expansion for vanilla. Let's see. They've added a new world boss, the Nerubian Overseer. They added gardening. They actually added something called the Mirage Raceway, so I don't know if that's sort of like chocobo riding or something. They actually added plains running as a racial for Taran, and it actually kind of works. They added survival skills, city protectors, so if people are doing PvP stuff in the city, you have a means with which to actually defend the city and you get a title. Paladins have Holy Strike. They added a barbershop, so it's not really like the barbershop that you see in retail WoW. It's like these little dyes that you buy to recolor your hair, which, I mean, for vanilla WoW, kind of makes a lot of sense that they kind of went that route. It kind of feels closer to a vanilla WoW experience. They added transmog, but again, it's sort of like a vanilla WoW variant of it. And because it's a super low population server and it's like an RP PvE type server, they added a quest line where you can get I don't even know if this character has it. I do. I have something called a Glyph of Diplomacy that actually allows me to interact with the opposite faction, talk to them, and then basically use their version of the Dungeon Finder tool with different people across the server. So I can party with people of the opposing faction. So, like, there's cool stuff on here. Like, they've added some interesting custom content to it, so it's not just purely just vanilla all the way across the sky, which I can appreciate. In fact, I can appreciate that more than just another vanilla server. You know what I mean? I can respect it. Okay, auctioneer scan. Boop. I mean, considering that this actually has 168 pages on the auction scan is actually not all that bad, all things being equal, because this is a fairly small server, but it seems to have a pretty dedicated player base, which is fine. Like, this is the type of server where, this is sort of like Ascension WoW, where it's like, even though it's a free server, and it has, you know, and it has the cash shop and all that kind of stuff, because at this point, what fucking doesn't have a cash shop? I would be more inclined to give them money than I would like Blizzard, because I can tell that whatever money I give them is going to be going back into the server's development. And that's the thing about cash shops that makes me tolerate them, is the idea that, one, it's not going to be affecting gameplay. Two, the money from the cash shop should be going back into in-game development. And three, you know, in-game development is not being pulled from the game for the sake of the cash shop. So they're adding, you know, things in the cash shop, is somebody is actually going in and literally adding custom content into vanilla WoW, which, to my understanding, this core is jank as fuck. Like, the vanilla core has so many weird, like, spaghetti string bullshit code to it. You know, I mean, it makes sense that Blizzard ended up, you know, essentially retrofitting vanilla WoW back into the newer, like into the more modern WoW overall UI engine, because the vanilla engine is whack, is so jacked up to the point where it's like, I didn't realize that. Apparently, for whatever reason, vanilla WoW's core is optimized for 64 frames per second. Not 60 frames per second, 64 frames per second. Such that if you have... I'm not going to do it now because I'm scanning this thing, but if I were to run with my camera like this and I were to run back and forth, you'll actually see micro stuttering because my frame rate, well, it's capped at 64. You know, technically I have my FPS capped at 64, but my monitor is capped at 60. You know, it's a 4K display. It can be capped at 60 FPS. So at 64 FPS, it looks perfectly fine. But at 60 FPS, there's some micro stuttering to it, which is really weird. And why they would pick 64 FPS, I can't begin to fathom, but apparently they did. And it's only vanilla WoW. They changed it in Burning Crusade and onwards, but vanilla WoW has some really weird... And I mean, also, like, if you remember back in vanilla WoW, I don't know if you played in vanilla WoW, but writing macros was just fucking awful because it was basically JavaScript. You had to write it in JavaScript because that's how, I guess, how the lure was written. It was writing basically, you know, small bits of JavaScript. And in Burning Crusade, they completely revamped the macro format such that, you know, it actually was something readable, you know, versus the if set var something something something. I'm like, what the fuck am I reading? And it's even more infuriating now because now that Classic WoW is released, trying to find the old, like the old vanilla macros for like Druid shapeshifting is almost impossible because anytime you write Druid shapeshifting macro, it's automatically going to the Classic WoW stuff. And I'm like, no. I want the, you know, I want the old illegal version. I don't want the proper version that I'm supposed to be paying money for. I want the old version that nobody cares about anymore. You know, as you do. I mean, I never really got into macros either, in the strictest sense. It was quite literally because I needed them to play a druid with any sort of effectiveness because, you know, your shape-shifting spells locked you out of everything. You know, it locked you out of talking to people, it locked you out of casting spells, it locked you out of using items, it locked you out of absolutely everything. So I basically had to have macros that would allow me to quick shift out and into things such that whenever I cast a spell, it would automatically take me out. So quite literally on my second bar that had all of my healing spells, I had a macro for every single one of my spells such that when I cast, you know, say rejuvenation, it would automatically take me out of whatever form I was in. So that way I could cast the spell without having to first hit bear form, cast rejuvenation, hit bear form or whatever. You know, I also had, it was also for reducing button size. Like I had my aquatic form and I have my travel form. So I had a button, so I had a macro that basically turned me into aquatic form when I was in the water and then turned me into travel form when I was in land. So I don't have to hit two separate buttons to basically achieve the same thing because that's dumb. They ended up just rolling that into the button itself. I think it was a Cataclysm? I think Cataclysm or Mists of Pandaria, they basically just turned travel form into just travel form, where aquatic form was only ever used when you were in the water because you can't use it on land, so why waste the time? But generally speaking, I'm not like a huge macro fanatic. It was just for vanilla WoW. Like, I mean, just for druids, you kind of have to use a certain level of macros just to... I'm not even going to say like to be optimal because I am the ultimate of casual scum. It was just the clunkiness of the shapeshifting. And don't get me wrong, I love playing Druid. It is, out of all the classes I've ever played in any MMO, Druid is like my class. That is the class that I think represents me, if that makes sense. But it is kind of a naturally, not so much anymore in retail, but back, especially in vanilla, you know, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, whatever, there was a lot of inherent clunkiness to it because you got locked out of so much in shapeshift form. So you had to, you needed macros to be at any kind of effectiveness. Oh, honey, you liked Paladin. I'm sorry. So did you enjoy Paladin in vanilla by just... I mean, quite literally, I'm not saying this to be an asshole. It's like... I remember trying to level a Paladin in the Burning Crusade, as a matter of fact, and I couldn't get past, like, level 25, because even at that point, it was just seal, judge, seal, and just auto-attack it to death. And even at that point, I'm just like, oh my god, I can't do this. I know you supposedly get more spells, but even then I don't think you did, because you didn't get... Because I don't think they got... Paladins didn't get Crusader Strike until Wrath of the Lich King, right? Rolled a warrior. Oh, good god. Okay, so you're used to pain. Okay, so you rolled a warrior in Classic, and then you made a Paladin in Burning Crusade. Okay, so basically you're used to pain. I understand. I'm sorry. I rolled a druid in vanilla, so I basically had a very easy time with leveling. I say knowing that I died tons because I was bad. Because I tried using a feral spec, but was too bad. But I mean, okay, that's not strictly true. I mean, I was bad. There is that, but also I was playing on dial-up at the time. And I don't know if you've ever tried playing WoW on dial-up, but there is like a half a second to anywhere. I mean, if you're absolutely, you know, an absolute optimal, you know, not frame rate, but like optimal connection strength, it was like half a second of lag. Anything more than that, it was like a second to 3 seconds. So I died a lot. While leveling that character. And I don't think it was until... Christ, because I remember trying to play... I remember trying to do AV on dial-up. And bear in mind, dial-up was all I knew. I hadn't tried anything else, so I was just kind of like, okay, fine. And I played AV. Like, I completed AVs as a druid on dial-up, but my thing was I had to stay away from where everybody was. I was basically the one that was going out killing wolves and doing turn-ins, because if I got anywhere near the group, I would disconnect immediately. Well, not immediately. Like, I would get to the group, everything would immediately freeze, and then 20 seconds later I would disconnect, and then it would come back dead. It was all I had. It was all we had until, I think it was like 2005 or 2006, we finally got dial-up. It was a whopping, it's like 1 megabit down, I think. Something like that. I mean, like, what's funny is that we got, you know, broadband, but I think the broadband we had was so bad that it actually didn't constitute as true broadband, because it was broadband with like a little like cross asterisk star next to it sort of thing. But it was still better than the dial-up that we had. So it was enough that I could get to level 60. And, you know, because what happened was I had moved in with my sister for like a month, and she had fiber. She had Verizon fiber internet, like, back in 2005, when that was a rare thing to have. Like, you just didn't see that kind of stuff. And I got used to that being like, oh, you mean you can, like, press a button and things happen? Like, oh, this is really responsive. This is nice. And then I came back up north, and I logged into WoW, and I tried playing. I think I was like in Feralis somewhere. I was level 51. I was doing a quest in Feralis. I tried to kill one mob and was like, yeah, I can't do this. I was like, I can't go back to this. And I'm like, hey, Dad. So since you're the name on the bill, can we get broadband? I will pay you the difference. Whatever it costs, I will pay you that. Like, I will give you cash money. I will pay the bill for it. I don't care, but I need broadband. Like, I can't do it. And then I got to level 6, and I'm like, oh, wow, this game is so much more fun. I was like, oh, wow, this is so much easier now that I have, you know, now that I don't have to be basically clairvoyant to understand. And I mean, that's something you don't think about until you bring it up. Vanilla WoW, why it was so slow, and everyone's like, oh my god, you have to stand there and auto attack. This was made in a day where dial-up was still pretty common. I mean, broadband was coming a lot more common, but then again, even the internet itself was just becoming more common. Broadband really wasn't super ultra widespread. I would hazard to say that broadband probably wasn't super widespread until probably the better part of like the late 2000s. So like 2008, 2009, probably 2010 is when you started seeing broadband really start overtaking dial-up, because, you know, I mean, you know, Comcast, Verizon, all those places had to actually just offer, like, had to do the groundwork to physically put those things in. And even then, after that point, I remember that, you know, it was like 2010, 2011. You know, I lived out in the country where there was technically broadband that was connected to the, but you had to get, because it was Comcast, and Comcast is a piece of shit. You know, they gave you cable internet through their already created, you know, cable systems and all that good stuff. But one, you had to have cable. So it was you had to get cable, like you had to buy cable to get the internet. It wasn't like you could just get the internet itself. And two, because it was Comcast and it was a piece of shit, we were at the end of the cable line, so we would constantly get disconnects. And they were like, well, sorry, like, what are you going to do? Like, just not have internet? So even then, this was back in 2010, like the internet, even though it was cable, it was garbage because it just constantly disconnected because we were out in the country. So the reception, I sound like back in my day, you know, it just, you know, out in the country, internet really is not, you know, good internet is not a guarantee. So, you know, back in the olden days of yore, you know, vanilla, Burning Crusade, and even kind of Wrath of the Lich King, you know, it was designed for people who didn't have great reaction times, not necessarily because they were bad, they were, but because they just didn't have the internet to support really fast gameplay, you know? What the hell have I been talking about for like the last 5 or 10 minutes? But hey, I've made those 168 pages go real freaking fast. I will have you know. I'm gonna get a drinking boo because now my throat's starting to hurt. Scooch, I'll be back in a sec. Dagnabbit. Indeed, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm is all-knowing and all-seeing. And don't you dare try to piss Pepperidge Farm Pepperidge Farm off. Or its fury is known across the cosmos. Okay. Can I post auction? I can post auction? I can post auction. Aw, how nice of the game to not penalize me with a... Oh, shiza. Never mind. I was gonna say how nice of the game to not penalize me by removing the auction house. Well, no, I don't think I had an auction house fee on that, did I? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. My head's starting to hurt again. Damn it. Boo. Wait, do I have... Small egg. It's called small egg. Right. Give me eggs. So yeah, work sucked today because I've had a headache just all day. Just the entire day I've just had a pounding headache, which may also still be a side effect of my of the shot that I got, because I've heard that headaches are kind of the common thing. You don't have to search that long for the egg game. Screw it. It's not that important. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yoop. 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 Ah, shit. See, look at that. Makes so much more sense here. I'm just saying.
Hello.
Cavalier's boots. Ba-ba-doo, la-da-doo. Wamba Fett. Alright, so now that I have updated all of my shaz, you know what? What am I feeling like right now? Do I really want to quest? What do I want to do? I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to go to sleep. But I told myself I'd do this for 2 hours, so... Damn it, I'm gonna do it for 2 hours. So let me think. Do I really want to quest through Darkshore? Do I want to level another character? I mean, I'm just gonna end up questing through Darkshore anyway. Also, this is slightly off. Like, this is off by about 6 inches. Like, this should be down, farther down towards the little, like, whirligig here. Oh, you know what? I know what I need to do. Hold up. Wait, no, I'm a mage. I don't need to do that. Never mind. Never mind. For some reason, I thought I was a druid, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do my aquatic form quest. No, I don't. You don't have an aquatic form quest, dumbass. You're a mage. Could you imagine if a mage could conjure up a sea lion that it could just, like a sea lion suit that it could swim around in? It'd be cool. It'd be horrifying, but it would be cool. Yeah, I'm gonna quest some more, I think. And again, playing this just kind of makes me want to play retail, and then makes me mad that there's still no high elves on the Alliance, because it's void elves, which look very similar, but they don't have the same hair color. Like, if they literally had the same hairstyles, but they had 1 or 2 hair colors that was reminiscent of, you know, high elves or blood elves, I'd be perfectly fine with that. But they have varying shades of blue and purple and pink and stuff like that. And it's cool, but damn it, I wanted my high elf. Sons of bitches. Yeah, retail is not fantastic. It's really, like, the interview that the lead designer dude, Ian, whatever the fuck his name is, was sort of like, I listened to that. I probably listened to about 20 minutes of it, and then I just turned it off and discussed, because I was just like, what the fuck is this man talking about? Why does this man still have a job? Because, I mean, basically he was like, yeah, I hear you, but here's why you're wrong. And I'm like, no, I'm the customer. So, you know, even if I am wrong, I'm paying you, so, like, give me a product worth paying for. She says, while slowly getting addicted to Burning Crusade again. God damn it. Yeah, they added a boost and shit. They added, like, a boost, which is irritating enough as it is. And then they added this, like, digital deluxe edition for $70. That's a unique mount for Shadowlands and for Burning Crusade, along with a boost. And, like, a specialized heart. Like, and I'm like, okay, it's... Like, part of me almost can understand it. It would be both, like, what am I trying to say? It would be one thing if they released that deluxe edition as a physical thing. Like, a physical collector's edition of the... Like, I know it's like a re-release of a 15-year-old game, but if somebody wanted a collector's edition of Burning Crusade Classic, then, like, that would make sense. Like, I know that sounds weird. Maybe that's just, you know, me creating a line in the sand that doesn't exist, but if they had made, like, a physical collector's edition of Burning Crusade Classic for the really hardcore people that kind of had that stuff in there, and it'd be kind of shitty because of the boost and all that, like, I could kind of understand that, because you're physically getting something out of it. Like, you says something physical, you know, that you can, you know, display. This is just, like, yeah... I joined a coworker and his friend. Blizz wants 35 for a boost. I was like, yeah. So apparently the boost, yeah, the boost is actually 40, from my understanding. The boost is 40, but the cloning service was originally $35, and people got so pissed off that they actually dropped the price down to 15, which is total. What is the phrasing for it? Like I think the phrasing is called the door in the face strategy. I've always called it as just retail. You know, where you price it so exorbitantly high that people get pissed off, and then you're like, no, you actually know what, I'll drop it down to this price, and then all of a sudden that customer that would have been outraged at that original price is all of a sudden happy. They think it's a win because, you know, they got mad and they talked and they spoke up, and then, you know, the big bad company acquiesced to their demand. No, they didn't. You're still fucking giving them your money, you moron. She says, getting re-addicted to Burning Crusade like an idiot. Oh yeah, no, I mean, honestly, the booster shouldn't exist. I get why it would be there. I get why it would be useful for people, but at the same time, it's like, if you're going to use that, you were not the target demographic for Burning Crusade Classic. If you need the boost to get you up to where you want to be, you're not going to be where you want to be for Burning Crusade Classic, because Burning Crusade is going to fucking chew you up and spit you out. If that is too, like, I get it. It's like, leveling is like 100 plus 150 fucking hours. I get it. Having said that, the attunement process to get to the raids that you want to get is like 150 hours. Like, being real with you, the amount of dungeons that you have to run, the amount of reps that you have to grind, you know, the amount of quests that you have to do to get to the raids that you want to do with your buddies is probably the same amount of time. So if you're not willing to spend that time leveling, you're not going to be willing to spend that time doing that reps. And it is going to be the most epic shit show of all of these modern WoW players going to be like, oh my God, I have to spend too much time. This isn't alt friendly. Like, it's a fucking MMO, my dude. Like, there is a certain amount of grind that's into it, man. Like, that's just the way it is, you know? You have to decide how much grind is for you, to be fair. I hated the grind in Legion and in Battle for Azeroth for, like, the endless AP grinds and shit like that, but the reason I hated it wasn't necessarily because it was grindy, it's because it was pointlessly grindy. There wasn't, like, there wasn't an end point to it. There wasn't any sort of meaningful progression. It was just like, yay, you know, a little, like, laser shoots out or something, and like, hey, congratulations, you got like 0.1% of a stat, and you're just like, this is fucking stupid. You know, if you're going to grind, at least give me something cool for it, give me progression for it, and I'm cool with that. I leveled 4 characters to 70 in Burning Crusade, and I loved it. I didn't necessarily do all the raid attunements, but I did all the heroic attunements and stuff like that, and I enjoyed it. That was my end game, and that's the thing that I miss so much from WoW. I just miss the idea of quote-unquote casual progression. Like, I don't mind having semi-challenging content as a non-rating player. Like, I don't like fucking Mythic Plus because it's a goddamn speed run. I just want something that I want to dungeon crawl in my RPG, god damn it. Even if it's a solo thing, fine, make difficult solo dungeons, so that way, for people who want achievements, give me an optional buff. Oh, something that Turtle WoW also has, by the way. There's an NPC in the starting zones which can actually give you a hardcore mode. So it gives you, quite literally gives you the buff of Mortal, and it literally enters you into a hardcore mode such that if you die, at any, like, you can't trade with people, you can't use the auction house. Well, that's not true. You can trade with other people who have the Mortal debuff up to like a certain amount of levels, like to within 5 levels of each other. But if you die, like, that's it. Your character is literally deleted, or if it's not deleted, like, you no longer have access to it, and that's it. Like, that's it. You just, your character's done. You know, I'm not necessarily saying I would love a hardcore mode in retail WoW, but I would love just something to where the mobs are actually kind of dangerous, to where I actually have to pay attention to my health and to my rotation and to my position. Like, I want I want the world to feel at least somewhat dangerous. Even if it pisses me off, I at least accomplishing something, I feel good for it. I mean, that's fair. I can understand that. Like I said, at this point, I'm pretty much just... Like, I'm actually a little bit hesitant to use the word addicted because it has different connotations to it. It's just, this is sort of like my happy place when I start getting stressed out. You know, WoW is typically, you know, the game I go to kind of de-stress. I understand it well enough that I don't have to... It's comfortable, you know? It's like a well-worn blanket, you know what I mean? When you're stressed out, you go to the things you know. You tend to, you know, watch your favorite movie or TV show. You tend to listen to the music you like, you know, your favorite albums, you know. You play your favorite games. You play the ones that you know that much. This, for better or for worse, is the game I know the best, pretty much. So, And if Blizzard weren't such fucking cockbites about it, I would totally be okay with giving them my money. But they... I don't want to rant about WoW, man, but it's like, I want to give them my money. They just need to stop being idiots about it. Damn it. Just stop being bad, game. 3651. 3651. Wait, that's down here? Why am I running all the way the fuck? $36. That can't be the right. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do what I tend to normally do. I'm gonna go up north because I need to do Bashalaran. So I'm gonna grab the creature around this area. Oh no, it absolutely is. Like, no, the Blizzard of old is like long gone. It's just another subsidiary of Activision. And that's why I'm just like, I'm not really, for lack of a better term, bothered is not the right word, but like, I'm not really heartbroken or disappointed. I'm just sort of like, well, yeah, this is about what they expect, because they know that they have a player base that is invested in the literal 15 years, in some cases 15, 16 years that people have spent on these characters, and they know that they can squeeze them for what they're worth. I mean, is evidenced by the fact that, what is it that they said that, I can't pick that yet. What is it, over COVID, they lost something like 31% of their player base. And not just WoW, I'm just talking about like the whole of Activision Blizzard lost 31% of their concurrent player base. But they also recorded bigger profits than ever because they're squeezing the remaining 69, they were squeezing the remaining 69% of their player base for more money overall. The problem is that's assuring short-term gains at the cost of long-term success. And what that basically says is that it's going to get worse, because the more players leave, the more that the remaining players are going to get squeezed for more. So it's going to get worse. This not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. They are going to ramp up on the monetization until they've squeezed so many players and the feedback gets so negative that they have no choice but to enact some sort of change to win some of that goodwill back, at least temporarily, until they ramp it back up again. Oh, it was like 40%. I thought it was like 30-something%, but yeah, they lost a lot of their players. And they deserve to lose a lot of their players because they're taking all of that goodwill for granted. Well, it says that they're run by incompetent fucking morons, is what it says. You know, that they're literally, they're not even trying to keep their players. They're just trying to take advantage of them. They're like that dude. They are basically that one asshole dude in Tennessee that was buying up, oh, you asswipe. They're basically that dude. I'm gonna die and I'm gonna get salty about it. I would very much like, I wish I had a wand right about now. Are you fucking kidding me? I hate everything. I hate everything. You can fuck right off, Grey Miss Seer, I swear to God. Okay. What it says is that they're incompetent boobs. They are the video game equivalent of that asshole in Tennessee who bought up something like $10,000 worth of sanitizer and shit like that. Literally bought out entire counties worth of supply for people who desperately needed it during a pandemic, and then turned around and tried to sell it at like a 500% profit because capitalism. Is basically what it is. The only difference is I almost kind of feel bad for that guy because he's the little guy, so he got shat on by a bunch of people strong-arming him, and for good reason, because he was being a total douche canoe about it. Having said that, I hate these things so much. But I almost feel bad for him because as he's the little guy, he doesn't have an army of lawyers like Activision does. Activision can just throw an army of lawyers at it, or just throw a massive ad campaign at it, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, Did you see this new shiny thing? And it's like, and the sad thing is it's really fucking effective, even for someone like me that knows what the hell is going on. Like, I'm still tempted. That's the shitty thing, is that I'm still tempted to do it anyway, even though I know they're pulling this bullshit. I'm still tempted. And so it's like, I'm weak-willed, so this is what I get. This is what I get for being invested in things, alright? This is what I get for caring. Oh yeah, fuck bag. Okay, so you go to hell and you die. I'm gonna grab this. I would like to get out of the bone, please. Thank you. You have a blast. Good luck to you, my dude. I have no intention of killing you. You can just fuck off forever, my dude. Asshole. Wait it. '29 of the act in 3 years. Okay. Oh, it's in 3 years. All right. I thought it was in the course of a year. I mean, that's still shitty, but that's not quite as clickbaity as I thought it was. But still, that's telling that they still lost player base during a pandemic. I just miss being happy to give WoW my money. That's it. That's the big thing. I miss being able to give... It's like, you know, if you go to your favorite bar, pool hall, arcade, pizza place, wherever, and then at some point it comes under new management and it just steadily gets worse and worse, and you're just like, man, I want to give you my money. I want to be here. Why are you making it difficult for me? I just want to enjoy my existence. I just want to forget about how shitty the world is for like 2 hours. Why do you have to remind me in my journey to forget about how shitty the world is? You dick. Shit. That's the thing. I wouldn't necessarily call myself addicted. It's just, like I said, this is just my comfort food, unfortunately, so I can and have walked away from this before several times. Wait, was that bear in the tree? Was that actually spawned in the tree? Or was I just missing something? Okay, Bashal around. Okay, so I gotta head back down. Kill things. Ooh, give me more silver leaf, please. Man, I forgot how rough life was before you get blank, because good God. Don't. Look, fool. I mean, I do need to actually kill you for a quest, but I wasn't intending to kill you until a later time. So, you know, you only brought this on yourself, my dude. You didn't give me anything good. Screw you, buddy. And your leather, okay. Oh, I have to capture a rabbit thistlebear. Poops. Also, far as looking like a game I can stick with for a long time, provided they don't go pay to win. And that's the thing that gets me, is they don't go pay to win, because how long before pretty much any game ends up going pay to win at this point? But I hope they don't, so... Oh yeah, I'm like level 14 now, aren't I? Hawker, quit it. Yoop. I can't do how big a threat as of yet, because I actually have to take it back to town, I believe, and I don't want to do that as of yet. But yeah, I hope it ends up going well. Excuse me, you dick. Forgot how annoying these are for casters. Let's do our Irish thing, eat and drink. Really? It stayed in China and wasn't pay to win. That's actually pretty impressive. All right. Well, you know how you said you can't get addicted to things? I can't get hyped up for things. It is just, oh, hey, you're level 17? Okay. I mean, all right. That's fine. That's not broken at all. And I still murdered it. You know what? Whatever. It's cool, game. But see how I'm doing this? Do you see, like, the little, like, micro stutter? The fact that the ground chugs every so often? That's apparently because the game is optimized for 64 FPS. Why? I don't know. But it just means that every so often there's a little bit of stutter. Not nearly as bad now that I messed with some settings a bit, such that, like, this is funny, like a 2004 game, I have to change the settings to get it to play well because it's, you know, 16-year-old engine by this point, and it really does not like multi-threaded cores, basically. I'm almost out of mana. Well, we're meleeing, boys. And stuff like that is exactly why I can't get hyped for games. I am far too cynical in my old age. I can't remember if this storyline is ever actually continued upon in Cataclysm. I'm gonna have to try it again at some point. Yeah, right? Cyberpunk 2077 was supposed to be... I mean, to be fair, in a way, I almost... But, to be fair, it was also, like, ultra hyped, and it was kind of their fault for hyping it as much as they did. But, you know, yeah, I mean, what kind of... What I think is really egregious about it, beyond the weird optimization bullshit, and the fact that they didn't just delay it until it was ready, which I know is such a weird concept nowadays. But, what I think is really egregious is the fact that they sold PS4 and Xbox One copies pretty much knowing that it was going to run like dog shit. Because again, that was running on hardware that was created in, what, 2013? Knowing that modern day... Excuse me? Excuse me? Yeah, you can fight me, buddy. Not the button I wanted to press. Okay. Well, I just popped a potion, so there's that. But the fact that they released it on systems, I mean, like, even modern day systems with modern day graphics, like 3070s, and like, you need basically current gen, like 3070, 3080, shit like that, in order to get that game to run even decently. If you're running something on like that would be like me trying to run Cyberpunk on like an i4590 and a 1050, or like a 770 or something like that. Like, it's just, it is not designed for that at all. And the fact that, like, yeah, it runs well enough, which was basically, I guess, code for, yeah, it runs at all. And they sold that shit for $60 fucking dollars, to the point where it's like, even, what was it, PlayStation 4, like the PlayStation Store actually took it off their site. Like, the PlayStation does not do that for anything. Like, Sony doesn't do that, period. But they actually took it off their marketplace and was like, yeah, no, we're not selling this on PlayStation 4 because it doesn't run. And so many people were just immediately, I think I went to a Best Buy a couple of weeks ago and saw Cyberpunk 2077 for not even on sale. It was literally just they slashed the price to the point where I think it's like $20 now, which makes sense because it doesn't really run on those systems. It doesn't run very well. It's not designed for that, even though they started making it in like 2013 or 2014. It's now 2020 and it's still optimized like garbage. So, I mean, I may have done a 180. Like, yeah, they deserve all the criticism they get. But they also, probably shouldn't have overhyped something if it wasn't fucking ready. And I mean, that's totally fair. Like, I've heard people like, oh, it's a really cool game. Now I'm like, I have no real interest in playing it. It didn't... The thing is, I don't necessarily mind, like, the cyberpunk aesthetic. I mean, I never actually played it either, so I shouldn't say. But I mean, like, Detroit Become Human, Deus Ex, like, I love the aesthetics. Watching other people play it was really satisfying. I know I'm weird that I don't necessarily have to quote unquote play a game to sort of get the experience out of it, if that makes sense, But those seemed like very satisfying games to play. Cyberpunk, just there's something about it where it seems very, watching other people play it, it seems very grandiose in scale, but it also lacks a certain amount of soul to it. It's very grandiose and big and, very big budget. It felt kind of like and granted, this was, again, just watching somebody do a Let's Play. Like, what was there was good, but it also kind of felt like a Michael Bay movie, where it's very big and very flashy, and it may have some really good, quote-unquote big plot moments and stuff like that, but it's also like, okay, but you're also, like, wandering around and seeing random NPCs bumping into each other, so, it's like a big budget movie where they may have this really good plot point, or like I guess Game of Thrones would be a good point where it's like, there's supposed to be these really big moments and then you see like a fucking Starbucks cup sitting on the desk next to one of the major lore characters, and it just takes you out of it because you're like, wait a minute, how could somebody make that stupid of a mistake? I kind of found it fascinating, at least what little bit I saw of at least the intro. Like the little intro bit of it seemed really fascinating, but as soon as it opened up, and again, this is purely for me watching a Let's Play, but as soon as it opened up into the more open-ended storyline, like I just immediately stopped caring because the narrative stopped, like, at least the prologue stuff had a really tight narrative. It was a very sort of like, hey, this is the story that's going on. As soon as it opened up to the whole, like, yeah, by the way, you're being possessed by, like, the cyber ghost of this anarchist asshole, and he's going to basically eat your soul, and you're going to turn into this guy, and I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. What the hell are you talking about? And I honestly feel really bad for Keanu Reeves, because Keanu Reeves seems like a really cool guy that does not deserve most of the hate that he gets. He actually seems super talented, too, but he always seems to have this habit of showing up in somehow the worst fucking films of all time. Or maybe that's Nick Cage. That might be Nick Cage. Actually, it's both of them, as a matter of fact. But, Keanu Reeves seems like a really super nice guy, and I feel really bad that his reputation is now, like, he's such a big name player in this role, and it's just, like, his character is such a douchebag, and I'm like, this is not interesting to me. This seems stupid. Like, no harm, like, no hate on people who enjoy it, but I am not one of those people. She says, as she plays on a WoW private server for the umpteenth time. So it's not like I have a master class on personal taste. It's just, the storyline, despite being so big budget and all that kind of stuff, just seems like it missed the mark. Let's just say. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, Keanu made good movies. He was in Bill and Ted. So, everything else is said. He was in one of the best satire movies to have ever existed. And I don't care what you say. I think Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is a fantastic satire movie. I haven't watched it in years, though. I need to go back and rewatch that. I literally haven't watched that in probably... Oh, my God. That's been 2000... Oh, Jesus. That's been almost 20 years. Jesus, I need to watch that movie again. But either way, I feel bad for Keanu Reeves being attached to Cyberpunk, because it really should have been Like, if Keanu Reeves showed up in a Deus Ex game, I think that would have been much better served. I think he could have had a lot... Because the dude's actually a pretty good actor. He just needs to have good roles. You know what I mean? I think he would have been really, really good. Like, Deus Ex, the thing that gets me is that, like, the ultimate cyberpunk-type game doesn't exist, and I wish it did. If it had... So if something like Detroit Become Human had, like, Deus Ex's type of gameplay or stuff... Why did I attack this guy? I didn't need to kill this man. Satyr, whatever the fuck you call this thing. Oh well. He's dying today. Yep. Sorry, dude. I kind of wasn't paying attention. I sort of AFK'd and shot you in the face with a fireball. You know. You know how that goes. You just accidentally alt-tab you know. Smash alt on the wrong thing and all of a sudden you're pulling half a molten core, you know. You know how it goes. Wait, what? Okay, there's some weird shit going on in chat I'm not looking at. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep talking about Keanu Reeves and shit. I guess. Because I still need to kill 2 more of these girls. And see, I know this sounds stupid. That this seems very, like, super basic bitch. And if this was the questing experience in modern WoW, this would absolutely be unacceptable. Having said that, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be one or the other. Like, you can have a more modern WoW type, story-driven, mechanics-driven, whatever, and still have mobs that can actually kick your ass. I know this sounds weird. I know how weird this sounds, but I legitimately miss having to replenish my mana. I miss having to pay attention to my mana bar. You know, to the point where in modern WoW, the only time you pay attention to your mana bar is if you're already in a bad enough position to where you have to spam heals, at which point it's probably already too late. Like, I know that sounds weird. I like the fact that your mana bar was basically a soft and rage timer. That's kind of literally why it was there. Mana management was a thing you had to pay attention to. Damn it. It was one of the resources. You're supposed to manage your resources. When you're not managing that resource, it's one less thing you have to pay attention to, and the game feels dumbed down as a result of it. Dag nabbit. Back in my day, can you all just back up off my Cheerios for like 2 seconds? Like, I already got all the earrings I need off of you, so I don't need to kill you guys anymore. But I'm going to because you're in my way, so, you know, get used to that. God damn it. Look. Okay, Alt, mouse wheel up. There we go. That's the first aid I was trying to use last time. And now we wait. While I slowly run in the opposite direction and hope that I can buy myself enough time that I can get some mana back. Or maybe I just leash him. Because, sure. Actually, you know what? Let me turn this in. Now, I get to murder these guys. Now I need a moon seal from you, so by all means, please come at me, sir. Fuck off, Sprite. Fuck off, Sprite. I see you over there shaking that ass. You best keep walking in that direction. Okay, drinky, drinky. And I know it sounds stupid, this is total nostalgia bait, and that, typically speaking, the overall pacing of Cataclysm zones, I think, are a lot better. They're a lot more cohesive. Having said that, there's a part of me that just really misses this zone. That misses the old zones and misses the old stories. You know, if there had been a rejiggering where they basically just sort of retold what the level, like the quest levels were, such that, like, because I mean, the way that they had done it in Cataclysm was that you could level either in Kalimdor or Eastern Kingdoms from 1 to whatever the fuck. You know, if they had retooled the leveling such that they left everything the same, but they leveled it, retooled the quest level such that you could actually move in a more pseudo-linear fashion while leaving the globetrotting up, if you wanted to get the extra experience, then, like, by all means, go for it. I think, honestly, that would have been... I get why they were doing it, because the land looked dated, and they were trying to update the graphics and all that kind of stuff. I don't need to murder you. I need to murder satyrs. Now you satyrs know where your high house... Hey, 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 hey! Hey, you need to back up off my shit, buddy. Rank 1 Frostbolt. Get fucked. You know, Classic Mage is a lot of fun. I don't think I ever played this until Burning Crusade, but this is actually kind of fun to play. I mean, it's literally glass cannon. I mean, that's its entire, you know, reason for existence, but I kind of like this. I can appreciate this so far. And for some reason, my dumbass is going fire spec, because why not? Okay, I need to murder you. You need to just stay butts out of my way. Actually, no, I'm murdering you because you're in my way. Sorry, dude. You. I missed downranking. Is that dumb? I know why they... But again, it's one of those, I know why they did it, because of degenerative gameplay, yada, yada, yada. One can wish. Yep. Please drop your seal so I can go about my business, sir. Ooh, I apparently have Gather. Is that Cartographer? Oh, that's Cartographer. Okay. Vanilla add-ons. They're so deliciously janky. But I gotta admit, like, I'm really coming around to D-HUD's original visual style here. I actually really like it. I think it looks fantastic. Hut, hut. Ah, shit. Oh, I screwed up that timing, but that's fine. I was just gonna, I was gonna say I was just gonna smack you in the face with my staff, but, you know, falling over and dying works just as well. But all things being equal, as far as private server is concerned, I actually really like this so far. Again, I like the fact that it tries to keep true to, like, the vanilla WoW aesthetic while adding custom content that feels like it should belong in the game. It's not like your item mall bullshit. Like, there's actually... There's a rhyme and a reason to it. There's a clear love for the content, which I can appreciate. And also, High Elves on the Alliance. Suck it, Horde. Hey, there's my seal. Arp, arp, arp. I would really like Blink, though, at some point. That would be fantastic. Shit, when do you get Blink in vanilla? Is that level 20? God, that's gonna take forever. Vanilla leveling. I'm like, oh, that's 6 levels away. Oh, that's gonna take so long. Die, Sprite. Nope, nope, nope. Back the fuck off. Son of a bitch. Oh, that's 2 of them. See ya. I was not trying to kill 2 of you. That is a little bit more than I'm comfortable trying to fight. Shalaran. Ah, yes, the final flame of Bashalaran. Okay. And so we begin where we left off. Wait, no. We left off where we began. Sure. We end where we begin? Ah, fuck it. There's a phrase in there somewhere. I don't even care. No clue. I'm going to be honest, I've already forgotten what I asked, so it clearly was not that important. Flame of Bashalaran. They didn't accept Bashalaran Part 4. Turn in the red crystal, huh? Store the seal at the ancient flame. Oh, that's like way the fuck. Oh. It was really over there? I thought it was in the... Okay, maybe. Okay. Whatever. Well, down we go. Yep. Yep. Forever twirly. Perma-twirl is the best part about this server, not even gonna lie. I mean, obviously they couldn't, for whatever the coding, to get this custom character, they probably just took the twirly and just made that its default jump animation. And I love it! It makes me so happy. Small furry paw. Ooh, stuff I can grab? Peace bloom. Okay. I can pick Please bloom. Please bloom? Sure. Words. I give up on words for today, man. I give up on words. How dare you fail your attempt at picking flowers? It's just grab this shit and take it out of the ground. How hard can it be? Don't answer that. Thank you. Need to murder you because I need your fangs for some reason. Because there's a drunk gnome telling us to do stuff. And you know, that's how they roll or something. Didn't even drop anything. Dick. Don't need you. Nope. I mean, I guess I can fight the... Oh, you know what? There's a quest for the, to kill the forest striders for cooking, isn't there? Shit. Oh, I think that's why I need to level to 10 cooking, so that way I can go ahead and, Sharp claw, that's wonderful. But also not at all what I need. Boom chickens, how adorable. Ow. Hey! Good time for that. Talent, oh my god. My inventory though. So wait, critical strikes and fire damage cause Turk to burn. Hermagerd. I mean, obviously it's going to be ignite, yeah? So 5. Pyroblast, because of course. Gives your fireball a 35% chance to not lose casting when you take damage and reduces the threat by fire by 15%. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah. Ow. Hey, level 15 though. But keep going. Keep hugging that wall. Like you owe it money. Wait, no. That's not why you hug things. I don't even remember what the reference I'm trying to use. Forget it. Like I said, my brain, the brain is fogged. So, we're just gonna move on. Give me some criticals. Oh, hey, there's 2 of you. That's unfortunate. Hi, buddy. Please don't kill me. I would be quite displeased. Thank you for not killing me. I'm quite pleased that I have managed to survive your wrath. I really should not have buffed right there. Do red crystal. How big a threat is over here? I'm remembering all of this now. Oh, I remember this stuff. Peace Bloom. A tragedy has occurred. Hardcore character Brambleberry has fallen combat at level 19. May his sacrifice not be forgotten. See, that's cool. Stuff like that is awesome. The fact that something like that exists. Could you imagine something like that being in a retail server? I mean, for one, they'd probably get trolled to shit. But it would be really cool to have something like that. To be like its own phase or whatever. And again, I would love to have something in the game where it just made the mobs harder. Or something. Something to increase the challenge for people who just like to solo stuff a little bit. You know? People who play the game solo want some challenge too, my dude. Gimme, gimme, gimme the mana. So I need to do cross over to here and then I go back up north, I believe. If I'm remembering the path correctly. It's really cool. Like, I can appreciate that. And I kind of want to try it, but definitely not on a mage. But it will probably be a high elf. I like it, okay? What can I say? I like elves, alright? Yes, I am partially salty that Blood Elves got, you know, Horde got Blood Elves because it basically removed elves as an, or that is to say, removed high elves as an option for me as an Alliance player, and I had to do Night Elves, which I like Night Elves, but I also really like the Blood Elf animation, damn it. It just made me mad. I didn't want to play elves on the, you know, rugged, individualistic, like the, you know, rugged might makes right type faction type shit. I want to play my rugged might makes right type races on my rugged might makes right faction. You know what I mean? Though to that end, Nightborn kind of makes sense with the Horde. Honestly, I think Nightborn makes more sense with Horde than the Blood Elves do. Because Nightborn is like, hey, look, you know, because you already have Night Elves. If Nightborn are kind of like, hey, you know what, you Night Elves were, you know, they were the Highborn. They were the aristocracy. So they would not stoop themselves to, well, I mean, I guess that makes it Horde, because they wouldn't stoop themselves to allying themselves with these other lowborn people, like, ew, this is disgusting. And these Horde are, you know, these savage races, but hey, you know what, maybe we can teach these savage races. It's like, sort of like, you know, British colonization. That's a really horrible way of putting it, but it's probably the best way I can put it. You know, the Nightborn were like, hey, you know what, we need to colonize these savage lands and make them, you know, more reputable for our kind. So sure, we'll ally ourselves with you because we want to, you know, eventually take over and, you know, that shit. I could see that as a lore point because the Nightborn, you know, the Highborn were kind of douche canoes like that. That would have made more sense than whatever the fuck we actually got. Sad face. Take another sip of the drink. The drink of disappointment. Yoop. Got me anxious enough that I was leveling weaponing skills with a fishing pole equipped for 2 hours, you know? That brings me back to the time that I was actually tanking a Burning Crusade Heroic with a fishing pole equipped for like an hour and a half. And then I got very confused as to why just things... Because I was having such a hard time, well, maybe not such a hard time, but I was having a hard time holding threat, and I was trying to understand why. I'm like, what the fuck? I have everything I'm supposed to... Oh... Fuck. Murder the... Oh shit, you're like level 16. That is highly unfortunate. Wait, I'm level 15. Oh my god, why are you resisting? You're making my smack talk demonstrably more difficult, my dude. You didn't even drop anything. Ass. I need your stupid fangs. because a drunk gnome told me I needed it. Yoink. I'm actually out of bag space. Okay. I would like to do the thing for a Metharan, but I'm actually out of bag space and I'm not selling this shit, so. Are you seeing that bit of judder? Is that just me? It seems to be that if I play this for too long, I don't know if it's like a memory leak or something, but it seems if I play this for too long, it starts to get a little bit juddery on my screen. But I don't really see it on the stream, so I don't know. Like if I do this, can you see the judder? Okay. So I'm not going crazy then. Ooh. Silverleaf? Silverleaf? Don't be Briarthorn. Yeah, Silverleaf, buddy. Where are you? Oh, there you are. So I don't know if it's just specifically that... Can you stop failing, you scumbag? It's okay. It's okay, Thaladora. I still love you. But, what the hell was I saying? Like, it seems to be after a certain period of time, it starts to get a little bit more juddery, and it only happens... Well, okay, it happens with this and it happened with Lotro. So I'm assuming it has something to do with being older cores that don't really like... They don't really like the company of things like a 5900X that has, you know, 12 cores and 18 threads. So it gets a little bit salty after a while. Oh, Hunter. Let me help. Oh god, the judder. I can't click. Okay, well, sorry. I tried. I actually tried clicking on them, but it's doing this weird shit with the mouse again. Hold up. Okay. For some reason, I have hardware mouse does some weird shit. It blinks out like crazy. So I have to turn it off, which means that there's a little bit of lag. Like a tiny, tiny bit of latency between where my button, like when I'm moving my mouse and when it actually just actuates anything at all. Oh, I should probably be turning these quests in, but I'm not going to. Because I'm lazy.
Can I assist you?
Can I assist you? Yes. Buy my shit. There's cold milk. Scroll of spirit. Small furry paw. Bear meat. Chipped bear tooth. Man, I've gotten really spoiled with, words. I've gotten really spoiled with add-ons like Cell Junk that just get rid of everything for you. Ooh. Hey there, buddy. On the plus side, okay, is there a fire anywhere nearby?
I am honored.
Oh, that doesn't work. Still doesn't work. Trying to make... Actually, can I? Words and sentence structure. Words are hard. Have I mentioned that lately? I feel like I need to mention that more often than I do. Words are, in fact, very difficult. Food and drink vendor. What do you have? The highest quality. Steamed mandu. I have never seen that before. I'm going to be honest. I've never actually looked at that vendor before. So let me see. I'm going to turn these in real quick. I am honored. We fly back to town. Yoop. Okay. Oh boy. I'm gonna probably call it once I get back to town. I'm gonna sell off some stuff. See if I can level up cooking just a teeny tiny bit, because I think it's only at level... Yeah, no, it's at 1. It's at level 1. Because of course it is. So basically I need to go to Westfall or Dunmora or something to get stringy wolf meat so I can level this stuff up. Why I care about a private server characters, like, and this is this moment of weird dichotomy, or I don't know, existentialism. Maybe that's the better word. Where I'm thinking to myself, why am I spending the time doing this? It's a private server character. This thing could disappear tomorrow. And then another part of me goes, you realize the exact same thing could happen to your retail characters in WoW, right? Like tomorrow, they're not going to, but Blizzard could just decide tomorrow, yeah, by the way, so we're shutting these down. We're shutting down the classic servers, or we're doing whatever, and like all that work is gone. You know, it's happened for MMOs before. So it's one of those sort of like, what am I doing with my life sort of moments. But then again, you know, everything is transitory, whether it's digital or physical. Like, you can have the physical copy of the game, but that game is eventually going to stop working. You know, on physical cartridges, you know, the capacitors are going to start wearing out. Internal save batteries are going to die. Chips are going to start dying. Disks are going to succumb to disk rot. You know, systems themselves are going to stop being readable. You know, I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but there will be a point where CDs and DVDs actually become completely obsolete in terms of any sort of media operations. So, I mean, if they're already on the way of doing that, like, it's already going in that direction, such that, you know, CDs and DVDs just aren't really using.
What's up? Keep
No,
it real.
no, I'm not doing that. You know, where CDs and DVDs are going the way of the dodo. So these CD and DVD media is going to start becoming significantly less useful over time. Exactly, everything is digital format now. And if something happens to that digital format, oh, that's going to make the Library of Alexandria look like fucking nothing. The amount of knowledge that will be lost if something happens to the digital infrastructure would be catastrophic. I'm not going to say I see the future, but it's like, man, that would really suck. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by, Max Helm. It was good talking to you. I am going to go try and eat some actual food. Like actual real food and not just, you know, nom on a piece of cheese. And I will see y'all next time. Peace out.